Good evening. Welcome to another episode of The Middle of the Road. I'm John Burgess.
I'm Justin Keys.
And today is August the 29th, 2022. So our episode today is going to be more locally oriented. Not necessarily just about West Virginia. We may venture off into some other region, but you know, we've been talking a lot about Ukraine and national politics and stuff, and it's time to get off of that subject. Let's talk about some local stuff, and you know, there's a lot of cool things happening here, man. Like, I don't know if you're in the circle or not when it comes to being in downtown Charleston, but there's a lot of cool stuff happening, man. And
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could go over to Magic Island and watch the Vagrants, or
yeah, you can always look at it that way.
Go to the mall and see the Vagrants, or
yeah, you can always look at it that way.
West Virginia is a beautiful state.
There's plenty of vagrants. I'll give you that, and that is our mayor's Democratic-leaning principles. She's very soft on those type of people, and you know, let's be real. The soup kitchen on every corner has a tendency to attract
cheap drugs. Don't hurt.
Yeah, cheap drugs, and all interstates lead to Charleston. You know, like I'm not saying that other cities and states send them here, but I just know that I see different ones every week. So, but you know, you can focus on that if you want. But you know, when I go downtown Charleston, it's really it's getting cleaned up. We're getting some new upper end restaurants in downtown. You know, they're cleaning up a lot of the old dilapidated buildings, and they're making them into new, fresher condos that you and I can't afford. But you know, I mean, I like being downtown. It's I still don't trust the Charleston police. I still am always armed when I'm down there, but I like the way it's headed. Whether that's Amy Goodman, whether she can take all credit for that or what, I don't know, but
I like the way this Mayor Wolf guy sounds.
Yeah, but
there's a middle ground that I'm sure will never be met. But
you know, honestly, if the election were today, there's no way Lance Wolf wins.
No.
Mayor Goodwin is doing such a good job with all the other things in Charleston, except the drugs and homeless. But she's doing such a good job with everything else, and I guess in a way it's kind of easy to do a good job if you got $60 million of COVID money in your bank account.
Right.
You know, I think that makes every mayor's job easy, is to have a little extra money. So, but you know, that's my aspect of downtown Charleston. You know, I go to the Dirty Birds games, man. That's always fun. It's always fun, and Charleston's trying to come alive. You know, the regatta this year, oh my God, huge success, dude.
It was. What did they say that brought in?
They said it brought in over $200 million.
Yeah.
40,000 visitors.
Yeah.
Whether those visitors were from St. Albans or from Cincinnati, I don't know if they really split it up as to where these people were from, but it brought 40,000 people. Dude, you know, the last census, our census was 42,000 people. We brought in 40,000 people for a week-long party in the street.
We did.
Guarantee you that's happening again next year.
Oh, I promise you. I love when Charleston does something, but there's just usually nothing to do there. Like with the battleships and is it the Columbus ships that come up the river every year and park right there at Haddad, and you can go check them out?
Yeah, the replicas, Nina, Santa Maria, and Pinta or something like that. Wow.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
You remembered that.
Good job, 4th grade history teacher. I still remember that shit somehow. Maybe because I had to write it on the board 17 million times.
Once you realize that,
you know, the Bart Simpson thing is for real, bro. That was me.
Once you realize it was the names of prostitutes, it gets easier to remember. Yeah. Nina, Pinta, Santa Maria.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me. Santa Maria must have been the big prostitute, because That was a big ship.
Now, West Virginia is a beautiful state with odd problems that shouldn't exist.
They do, and they exist in every city, state, no matter what.
I know,
But the thing about West Virginia that makes it beautiful, yes, we got some awesome scenery, and it's a great place to be. But the thing, to me, that makes West Virginia great is the freaking people here, man. We got some cool-ass people.
it's a melting pot, too.
I promise you, if you're broke down on the side of the road, somebody's pulling over to ask if you're okay. I promise you.
My gas gauge is broke on my Jeep.
So you run out of gas all the time, don't you?
Not out of that. Twice in 3 years is a good record.
That's not all the time.
Once it hits 3/4 of a tank, I put 10 in it, though. But I did run out of gas about 2 weeks ago. Money was tight. And I didn't even get out of the Jeep yet when somebody pulled up. Went and bought a gas can and 5 gallons worth of gas and brought it back to me and handed it to me and said, pay it forward, and drove off. I wasn't even late for work.
I mean, I can't say that's going to happen to everybody.
It'll never happen again, but wow.
It'll happen to you because you're going to pay that forward. When you see the next person broken down, you're going to do the same shit.
Yeah.
It's those things like that that make this state great. But I think the future of this state is looking pretty bright. I like where we're headed.
If they stay our course.
Yeah, and you can put that on politics if you want. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that.
It's all politics.
But at the same time, what do they really do? What do they really do? What makes the state shine is its people, not its legislators.
No, the legislators put the chemical plants right on our riverbanks. They all the things that we find unnecessary, they do. We're Appalachians. We could have a little house and grow a little garden. Most of us can live without outside help, all the way down to our own security. But that has been legislated out of Appalachia.
Well, we are a state that was created by the Fed, so we are the Fed's little lapdog. We as a legislature, we pretty much are heavily dependent on the federal money. That's why they take advantage of every program the Fed offers.
I don't understand why.
DUI checkpoints, that's not a state-funded thing.
No.
That when the federal government gives us money, that's when they do it. And it's usually in July and November. Right around Christmas time and right around the heat of the summertime. And you'll always see it. Another one, the Click It or Ticket program. Most of us know by now. Yeah, it's probably smart to wear your seatbelt. But now you're going to put out a program to give cops incentive to pull people over. Just to check the seatbelt.
Again, I have to ask the question. Which is it? Is every traffic stop a danger to your life? Therefore, you should probably minimize unnecessary traffic stops? Or,
look,
do you need to go out and find reasons to pull people over?
No, to me, if you want my opinion, all traffic stops, unless they're highly suspicious, need to be eliminated. All cops sitting on the side of the road waiting to catch someone doing 8 miles over the speed limit. No. Go park your ass in the fucking hood and stop some real crime.
Right.
Stop extorting me, because that's all you're doing. That's all traffic tickets are, is an extortion.
Nobody should commute in fear.
Right. Forget that. Now, if you're driving on the interstate and someone's switching lanes and being a straight asshole, pull him over. Yes. But there is no direct correlation between writing speeding tickets or seatbelt tickets and saving lives or lessen crashes, or there's no data to correlate that. that you writing tickets has a direct effect on public safety. That's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
Because as soon as you let me go, I'm still going 12 miles over the speed limit, dick. You just caught me once. I do this every day.
Right. Right.
I support our cops. I didn't mean to say dick like that, but when I'm in a traffic stop for speeding, it just feels like you just want my money. Is the city broke? You need to pay the power bill.
Now, if you're doing 20, 25 over,
then for sure you deserve it. You're actually endangering the public.
Yeah,
I get that. But a lot of the shit that goes on is just
most of their busts come from traffic stops.
Yeah, they catch other things. It's like what was it? We were talking about it last week or whatever, where if they get a search warrant for this particular thing and they happen to see this other thing, they can still get you for this other thing. So they pull you over trying to catch you with no insurance, no registration, weed in the car, whatever the case may be.
Right.
It's just
Right. We got pulled over and they claimed we didn't have insurance. I had insurance. Showed them my insurance.
But they already had you pulled over.
Right.
And then they saw the roach in the car and it was over after that.
There was no roach.
Or whatever she saw.
The Nutter Fort story.
Yeah, I wasn't able really to find a whole bunch on that except the story you sent me on YouTube or whatever that link was you sent me, and I didn't really see a whole lot on it. Like, I didn't see what he was wanted for. But apparently he was wanted and he pulled out a gun, and I just gave that to you, so you need to keep that for a minute. But yeah, apparently the marshals shot him dead at his mom's funeral. Dad's funeral?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fucking shitty, man.
I mean, there are better times. I don't care if you're Hannibal Lecter. I would have to be the guy in the squad to jump up and say, "Hey guys, that's his dad's funeral. Can we get him on the way home from the funeral?
Right.
Can we catch him at his aunt's house when he's eating the terrible casserole after the funeral?" I mean, raiding a house full of his family and arresting him's rough. That's bad.
It's not as bad as getting him
next to the hearse. He had just finished putting the... I'm sorry. I could have been guilty, innocent of anything. If you would have came at me, guns drawn, after I had just put my father in the hearse, I probably would have drew on you.
Knowing I was a wanted man, yeah, I might have. I don't know what he was wanted for.
No.
But I see those guns drawn and I don't see badges or anything. I automatically think I'm going to be in a shootout. So let's just...
You came at me at a funeral.
Yeah.
That's serious.
Your guns don't identify you.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Hopefully they had their badges out and tried to identify themselves, because I probably would have shot it.
Would you believe it was the police if you were at a funeral and they were yelling, "Get down, get down"?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what I would do in that situation. That's fucked up. You know?
However, I will digress and say we lost a police dog this week. And
yeah, we did.
Condolences.
That was sad.
Axel. Now, it's not because he was a police dog.
No, it's because he was a dog.
Much you shot my dog.
It's because he was a dog.
You shoot my dog, you should have a right to get shot.
I think they shot him like a lot.
That should just be West Virginia law.
It is. Pretty sure it is.
You shoot my dog, I can shoot you. That should be West Virginia law. I don't think anybody shot
a police dog and survived.
It ain't because it's a police dog. It's the part where he said it was a warm, cuddly pillow for my kids when he was watching TV. That's why you get shot for shooting that dog. Not because... No. Man's dog is his dog. Cop dog, military dog, I don't care. Man's dog is a porch dog. My Appalachian Holler Hounds.
Yep.
Man's dog is his dog.
My old pound pit. 12-year-old pound pit.
Nobody should lose a good dog.
No.
No.
I mean, you know.
It's sad to lose an officer, but I draw the line on the dog because it's a dog.
But the dog did his job.
Yeah.
He's very well trained.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean, I had a military handler explain to me one time that I can't remember exactly the words that was said, but these dogs are bred knowing they're going into harm's way. We as humans raise them knowing we are putting them in harm's way. And that's why it's their job to protect that dog at all expense.
Yeah.
So,
you know, once again,
dogs.
I don't know what he was wanted for, but apparently he was a neighborhood nuisance. Like, this has been going on. Like, the police are at this guy's house a lot, apparently. So I still don't know what they were there for. I just heard it was a warrant. They were serving a warrant.
Yeah, definitely. That dog.
Yeah. But
yeah.
What is there's something cool. Oh, we're getting a new brewery right down by my house, man.
Man, that guy on the corner near your
microbrewery.
house has one of the most successful restaurants in Charleston.
Yeah, Country Kitchen, Corner Kitchen.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Just don't go in there expecting, you know.
No, I know what to expect.
But no. Just enjoy. Take the food and enjoy it. Don't pay attention to anything else when you pick up your food. I promise you. I love that guy's food.
That's always
But
the
every
best.
time I go order from him, man, he's got a big old dip in his mouth. It's like, and I know he's cooking with that thing. It's huge. Like, I wish I had a camera right now. Like, I don't know. Imagine putting like a freaking AA battery in your lip. Like, it's like, and he's wearing flip-flops. I'm like, I know you're cooking my shit. I know you are. And flip-flops, and you're chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
your food is so delicious. So, for sure.
There was a little place up in Pittsburgh. It wasn't even a place. It was over in Homestead, over at the bottom of the residential area. And it was this wooden shack in this guy's yard next to his house with a smoker in it and a little cash box. And he had the best single ribs.
Ooh.
No health department. The place didn't exist. If you didn't know it was there, you wasn't going there. And you just walk in there and he'd give you a paper bag with some ribs in it off a smoker. And you give him $10 and walk out the door. And best food.
That's how it used to be when them two brothers, before they went big. You know, now things are really pricey because their food is delicious. Barbecue's always expensive. It just is.
It is.
But when they were just starting out and they were cooking on the street corner right there, oh my goodness, man, they made the most amazing brats on that smoker. And then they would like put the peppers and onions on it, cover it with cheese sauce, walk away right there on the middle of the west side with the big old cheese dog.
Right there at that car dealership.
Yeah,
good.
So good. And they still have that on the menu now, but it's a lot more expensive because now they got overhead like crazy. I think they got 2 or 3 stores and a couple food trucks and like.
Yeah, and they even got the one up by what is
Quincy, London.
London.
Yeah.
I was trying to think Smithers, but it's further up the river than Smithers. It's.
Speaking of Smithers, you know, can't go wrong with the old burger cart.
You cannot.
It's so delicious. Like every time I'm up that way, I stop. Most of the time when I'm in Summersville Lake, I come back that way through Gully Bridge just so I can stop at Burger Cart.
I always like driving that road.
I do too.
Yeah.
And usually if I got my kayak tied on top of my car and I don't really want to be on the interstate at 70, 80 mile an hour,
Right.
I'll take that back road all the way to the lake.
I don't like getting stuck behind trucks going up the hill. But other than that, it's a good
Yeah,
time.
I don't usually have a problem with that.
I've had it happen to you. I used to travel that road frequently,
Yeah.
quite frequently. Like,
If I want to get there quick, I just go up, was that 77? Oh, it's that exit.
I'm not afraid to
57.
go down. I'm not afraid to go down the other side of the river into Oak Hill and up.
Yep, that one's not too bad either. You can
No.
get off right there at the Mossy exit and then take off right down Route 612 and come right out in Fayetteville,
Yeah,
right there on 19.
yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
I can't wait for this camping trip. It's going to be awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Hopefully I catch a lot of fish. Cause
I'm thinking about going out this weekend for a night of bushcraft.
I hear you.
Yeah, it's kind of in the works. One of my buddies got with me, and he's like, I want to go out and I want to do something. And I said, okay, well, let's get together.
Heck yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds super cool. Yeah, I can't wait to. I'm gonna go in there and probably maybe tomorrow night and try this new brewery. So next time we meet, I might have a review of a new cool restaurant / bar.
Well,
But that downtown, like down lower west side area, is Elk City is what they're calling it now. Man, it's starting. It's coming alive, man.
is it?
Yep, people are putting money into it, and like it's starting to come alive.
Well, the competition's been starting slowly for years.
It's just a matter of time before downtown bleeds into the lower west side, just like it did east. You know, the east side, because they call it the east side, but to me, it's downtown. You know, all the way to the Capitol.
The problem is you can't use, unless there's a police force involved behind it, you can't use high society to push out poverty.
No,
You can't do it.
You can't.
Poverty pushes out high society. As they move down toward the West End, they're going to meet different problems.
But the younger, super, like, whatever you call a master's degree and above, you know, higher educated, those are the ones that want to live in downtown Charleston. And they don't want to spend $1,200 a month for an apartment and walk outside and be panhandled and,
No,
you know, so
they don't.
I don't really know how this long-term plan is going to work, because downtown is starting to pick up. You know the old Huntington Banks building?
Yeah, it's apartments now, is it not?
Dude, I went up there right before I left working at the state. Went up there to inspect their contractor's license, man. So nice up there. 17th floor, 4 apartments, $7,000 a month each. 4 corners of a penthouse. Each apartment's 3,700 square feet.
Wow.
It's bigger than your house.
Well, yeah.
Bigger than my house. Maybe our houses together.
Right.
And it's 17 floors in the air. And there's already a waiting list, and it's not even complete yet. There's supposed to be 240 condos in that high rise. And I think when we were there over a year ago, it's been almost a year since I've been out of the state. So over a year ago when we were there, they said out of the 240 condos, I think it was like 170 of them were already spoken for.
Nice.
Like almost sold out before you even finish building. So people want to live in downtown, and somewhere that number you showed me earlier, I think is correct.
Wow.
I think the upper yearly salary, if you're not a millionaire, your upper salary is $350. You know, $400. I mean, think about like our Kanawha County superintendent of schools is 120 plus,
Truth.
and he don't work year round. You know what I mean? I'm sure he doesn't have the same the same schedule as teachers do. You know, he probably does work the majority of the year, but he takes time off just like everybody else does.
Oh yeah, well everybody needs a vacation.
You know what I mean? But I'm saying he gets more time than because of the school schedule. You know, the Board of Education's closed for a whole week of Thanksgiving or the whole week of Christmas.
It is.
You know, so you don't have to take vacation days for those.
Mm-hmm.
But I know nurses right now that are pulling 120, 150 a year.
Yeah, but nurses also work
Not like
48-hour shifts.
the ones I'm talking about, they're doing 8-week contracts. They're at like almost $100 an hour.
Travel nurses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like almost nobody wants to work for the hospitals anymore. Why would you want to work for $27, $30 an hour as a registered nurse when you could travel and make $100 an hour?
Right.
Everybody's traveling now.
Right. And when everybody travels, the hospital has to hire travel nurses.
Yeah. Because nurses get tired of being stepped on.
I'm feeling a little scabbish though.
You know what I mean?
You know, $30 an hour sounds good to me. I mean, $100 an hour, fine, but at the Biden tax rate, $30 an hour sounds fine. It's the 18. My new job spoiled me with this whole 8-hour day thing.
Yeah.
I haven't worked an 8-hour shift in ever.
So you're like, you blink and it's like 6.5 hours in. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's how
Well,
I
to be
am.
honest, I mean, like, you know, I clean the room a lot, and that takes 3 to 4 hours. Now, I say this frequently, as somebody who cooked for 24 years, cleaning is relaxing. That's after you're done at the end of the night when you're trying to wind down. Cleaning is the easy part of your day.
That's when the music gets loud and my give a fucks go out the window.
Right.
Just get in the zone and start cleaning shit.
Right. That eats up 4.5 hours of my. It's lunch before I'm done.
Right.
It's cold, dude.
Comfortable.
No, it's not comfortable. It's 41 degrees in one room and 39 in the other.
Perfect.
No, it's not perfect. It's cold, and you're a little damp because you've been using the water hose all evening.
Oh yeah. It can get
I come outside on my
a
break
little
and
saucy.
there's like cold air. There's like cold sweat coming out of my pores. I'm not complaining. It's steady work, good work. I like my job, but the conditions are taking adjusting.
Right?
I walked out today in 90-degree heat. And again, that's what John Carpenter was talking about.
Yep. Yes, indeed. I can see how, like, because that's what I do. You know, that's how my shift is. You know, I work 3 long days, 3 12-hour days, and then my Thursday is just a 5-hour day. So I'm like, shit. If I ever went back to a Monday through Friday or Tuesday through Sunday kind of schedule, just 8-hour days, I can imagine how that is. Because I do 12-hour days standing on my head.
Yeah. 12-hour days.
I work 6 to 6 at work on Saturday, run home, take a shower, go play poker until midnight.
Right.
Get up, do it again tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm pushing 50.
See, I need a late hobby like that.
So
not poker though.
I think me and some friends are actually talking about getting a bowling league going this year.
That would be fun. You know, I was making a joke earlier about there's nothing to do in West Virginia unless you like to bowl.
But dude, let me tell you though, man, I've had a lot of fun this year.
Oh, me
A
too.
lot of fun, man. The Yak Fest. Oh my God! If you didn't go this year, you need to go. You need to make it on your list next year. It's Father's Day weekend. It's the world's largest flat water float in the world. I mean, we're talking 10,000 kayaks floating down the Little Coal River.
Wow.
Everybody's passing. And then you get down to the plaza, down there where the O'Reilly's and shit is. They got people there to help you pull your boats out. And then you go right into the downtown St. Albans, and the party is starting. Live music, all the bars are open.
Sounds vendors. Like some good footage for next year.
It was awesome, dude. I got some footage from this year that I was going to post on TikTok and shit, and I just didn't really get around to it. But that's something else. Once we settle on this name, that we're... Oh, by the way, if anybody listening, we're doing a name change. Sorry, kind of accidentally dropped that one, but...
Well, like I said last week...
To be continued, though. So
we're about to completely revamp this thing.
Try to get this thing a little more structured so it's a little easier to listen to.
Now that I've... Step A, learn to edit.
You got that down pat pretty good?
I'm all right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I've learned to do some things that I haven't had to do. So
you might need that skill later on.
Yeah. However, when we go over to video editing, I'm going to be starting from scratch again. So.
Right. Yep, it'll take a process, and it's all good. It is all good. We will work it out. So, but anyway, anybody else out there that doesn't understand how nice the fishing is and the hunting and things here, it's definitely worth checking out. And you know what? Like, there's a lot of people moving here because of our lower tax structures in comparison. And you know, like we said earlier, when we were on the vagrant and drug issue, all roads lead to Charleston, West Virginia. That's an understatement.
Oh no, it's an absolute understatement.
You're right in the center of everything, man. We're 8 hours from Nashville. We're 3 hours from Cincinnati, 3 hours from Columbus, 4.5 or 5 hours to Cleveland, 4 to Pittsburgh, 5 to DC, 6 to Richmond, 4 to Charlotte.
Absolutely.
Dude, like we could be anywhere in the East Coast in less than 8 hours.
And do you know how that feeds into West Virginia history? Like, do you know about the blues history in West Virginia, in Charleston, West Virginia?
I haven't really had a chance to really dig into that.
The mob history in Charleston, West Virginia.
Well, there's always rumors about that. But
it used to be, if you were traveling from Louisiana to New York, you had to come through Charleston, West Virginia. And people made money on the road back then. Right. So anybody who was famous or getting famous in the South traveling north would have to play several gigs in Charleston, West Virginia
to be able to continue
north.
So by the time they get to Charleston, they're almost broke, or they are. And they stay and play a couple gigs and then continue on to New York.
Yeah, the West Virginia Hall of Fame concentrates really hard on local musicians. But what they need to concentrate on, or what I like to do, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. But what I like to focus on is the history of the music in Charleston in general.
I know when I first moved to West Virginia, man, I was young, 16. My dad got transferred up here with a company that he was working for. And I instantly fell in love with the old school Charleston. Because when I got here, it was 1993. I mean, it still kind of had that old school vibe. And man, I remember going to this bar in downtown Charleston, and I believe it was called the Strand. And you walk downstairs, and as soon as you get to the front door, there's a fat guy sitting on a stool with a big fat cigar and a wad of I mean, it's everything.
The old number 8.
Was that it?
The old number 8.
It was right in the middle of Capitol Street somewhere.
It's right there on the corner of Capitol Street. It might be the old number 8.
It might have been the number 8 was called the Strand. But there's all downtown buildings have basements. So it literally could have been any of them. Because they closed it down right after I moved here. And then I moved away and just didn't come to Charleston that much. And kind of lost track of it. But man, it's everything that you would ever seen in a gangster movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this dude smoking a cigar this big around, fat, greasy dude with this little short tie. Wad of cake. Wad. $5 cover.
Yeah.
You go in there and get your ass whooped in some billiards.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some sharks in there, man.
Yeah. I remember that place.
And since you brought that up about the musicians stopping through, I guarantee you the billiard players were the same way, because Charleston has some nationally known billiard players.
Oh yeah.
And a couple of them have passed away now, but
you know, I mean, you don't come to Charleston. Well, in general, let me take that back. Don't come to West Virginia thinking you're going to mess with people.
no, that's not going to work.
We got hidden talent here, and we got hidden talent and poker
And I don't
faces.
think people do that.
No.
I really don't think people do that.
No, it's just not good practice anyway.
I really don't. That's why we don't have. I don't want to jinx us or nothing, but we don't have mass shootings here. We all know each other.
We had
in
some
a way.
bombs down in Bluefield last week, supposedly. There were 2 bombs at the courthouse.
They've been doing a lot of like active shooter drills since the Uvalde shooting.
Yeah.
They've been going around to high schools and doing active shooter drills for the last few weeks, actually.
I don't know what I need to ask my child what the plan is in her particular classroom.
You know, I think it's cool that y'all do that, but as a concerned parent of a high schooler, the only active shooter plan I need to know is which one of y'all's kicking in the door first. Because don't let me get to the school first.
Right.
Your plan goes straight out the window if I get there first.
Right.
And my daughter's been told, you do not give your cell phone to anybody.
No.
Tell them to call me. Because they cannot guarantee your safety. And I've had principals look me dead in the eye and say, you're correct. Will you please ask your daughter not to be on phone during class? And I say, yes ma'am, of course I will. They cannot take my daughter's phone. Because they cannot guarantee her safety. And if she's in a dangerous situation, I want her to call me.
Right.
She's been instructed to call me.
Right.
Everybody else at that point.
Yeah.
And I probably won't be able to get there. You know, I'm just a parent talking.
Right.
But if I get there before they do, I promise you your protocol goes right out the fucking shithole. You know what I'm saying? Because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm finding a way in that.
You're not going to tell me no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might even ring the doorbell.
I'm coming for
I heard
this
you got
guy.
an active shooter. I'm here to take this bitch out.
Right. I'm coming.
Can you
I might doubt it,
Come
but
on.
I'm coming.
Ding the
in.
fucking door. Ding the door.
Let me in.
Don't make me shoot the glass out and reach through, because I will.
Right. Right. Because that's all they'll put on the news.
Of course. Getting in. Taking this dude out. Fuck that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
At least they finally fired that guy.
Yeah.
Golly, it took them 3 months to fire that guy? Like, what a spineless... I mean, but really, can we ask a serious question?
Now, wait a minute.
Hold
Why
on.
are we calling the chief spineless? Because it was 5 of his deputies standing there wiping their hands with sanitizer.
Yeah, they were instructed not to go in because he was told, or he was under the impression that he was not incident commander. You are the chief of police, not of Uvalde, Texas. No, you're not a municipality police. You're the school board police chief. Your job is to protect the school.
Right. Right.
You're not a municipal policeman. You're hired and paid for by the school board. They hired you for this reason.
But this is
and you're standing there washing your fucking...
This is where people get mad at me, because I'm like, there's a line. There's a chain of command. There is a chain of command. But at some point in that chain of command, somebody has to say, I'm making a different call
In that instance,
right now.
fuck your chain.
fuck your
There are
chain.
children dying. Your chain takes
Exactly.
too long. Your chain takes too fucking long.
Right now.
If I lose my life, at least I tried. Deuces. Let's
Right.
go. Fuck that.
You three. We spent $300,000 this
see how-
year sending you to ranges for you to practice clearing rooms safely.
Yeah, I don't
Go
see
to
how
work.
they just sat there. And then the rumor, or maybe it was truth, I don't know, how it got circulated that the Special Border Patrol was the guy that said fuck your protocol and went in there and shot the dude
Yeah.
an hour after they was, but that's
Yeah.
I don't want to keep being negative and bringing up negative shit, but I get sidetracked.
I don't feel like our deputies would handle it that way.
I hope not.
No, you know what? I
hope not.
complain about the local police a lot, but in reality, no.
I don't complain about police when they're doing their job.
I have a feeling the local police would pull the front doors of Sissonville High School off with a chain.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we're getting in.
We're coming in. Just go get real dirty.
The thing is that,
if I didn't learn anything when the Schaefer boys shot at the Kanawha County deputy and ran up the holler here,
oh, I bet you the response, they had this whole mountain shut down.
they had South Charleston police, Dunbar police, they had Nitro police, Kanawha County,
And none. Okay, you're excused on that one.
state.
Maybe not even you, but all of those other municipalities you just mentioned, they don't know this road from shit.
They all
They all crashed.
And
They
let me
had
tell
to
you
have, right? Because this road.
Let me tell you something. If you want to have a gunfight, my only faith in life is they're all a bunch of good old boys when it comes down to Second Amendment and would never try to disarm the populace of the area. Because I tell
That's
you
our
what,
deputies.
I
Right
tell you
there.
what,
And a lot of my local
If you want a
Charleston police that I
gunfight-
do know, they're the same way.
if you want a gunfight, they'll bring you a motherfucking gunfight, sir.
Oh yeah.
Drones, dogs, they were running up and down this road with AR-15s. I mean, they got a gunfight for you waiting if you want to have one. So I don't think we have that fear here.
I know.
I have a feeling they would crash that
I can only
car
imagine.
through the door of the school.
I can only imagine what the people, because there's money out here in this state. And I can imagine what the people do when they really have a lot of money. But, I know one person, and I can go and have my selection of weapon and unlimited ammo. I bet you he probably has 50 to 100,000 rounds of different. I know one person with that,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, this.
I mean, you know what I mean? And that guy, I guarantee you he knows somebody that's got way more than him.
I know a guy who.
Shit, I can only imagine when you're talking about they want a gunfight. I don't think they really do.
No,
You might.
I know a guy who owns one rifle.
I don't think municipal police departments really carry that much ammo. I think you might be really kind of fucked.
Right.
But I don't think you have to worry about that here.
No.
I do think some city police departments will be the enforcers if it goes down like that. They'll be the ones that. We hear you got weapons. Yeah. Yes, we do.
I mean, I'm under the influence that they're pressuring a certain amount of populace to do something rash intentionally anyway, so.
Oh, dude, that's. I think. Without, like I said, avoiding the political discussion this week,
yeah.
I do really think that there are signs that someone is just trying to instigate something. And it could be on both sides.
Absolutely.
Bro, I'm not going to sit here and defend the right or the left.
You're right. You're right.
If anything, they're both what's it saying? Two wings, same bird.
Right.
They're all flying us toward bankruptcy or maybe worse.
Right. I feel like the word psyop
Speaking of which,
is in the place somewhere.
this might be a good time to segue here and give you something that you may not have had a chance to look up, that we can just chat about for a minute, that I found interesting.
Okay.
There is damn, what's the name of that article? It slips my mind now, but you can Google it or you can find something on it. There is a very real chance that come November we have enough states to form a convention, which is 34 states. Then you need 38 states to ratify the Constitution. So there's still a lot of work to do. But where you just brought that up, that's why I say this is a good segue into something. Because the top 3 or 4 things that this convention wants to try to ratify the Constitution for: term limit for Congress, making it a constitutional amendment that the Supreme Court stays at 9, locking in the Second Amendment and rewording it to include any and all weapons made by blah 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 blah. The list goes on and on, to where and another big one is taking the federal government out of the public school system.
That's
making that
big one.
100% a state-run organization. Maybe if that state is poor, like we are, maybe Mississippi, and maybe we need some extra funding from the federal government. And I don't know how you do that, where you make a bond or something with the federal government to.
Where I'm going to argue that is, doesn't there need to be a federal or nationwide curriculum for at least math and science? Just so that colleges can have an expectation from state to state of what to expect. Or at least a minimal expectation.
Right, and you know how you're going to get that?
How?
Because each state is going to want to compete with the next. Therefore, you can expect each state legislature to make their curriculum higher than the national average, or at least at the national average, because right now our public school system is a complete and utter failure. Like, our kids are basically reading at an 8th grade level when you graduate high school.
Yeah.
As an average. Like, it's not good. I'm not talking about just West Virginia.
Right.
A national average.
That's because they don't want to turn out conscious thinkers, innovators. The reason, are they going to try to compete with each other? While Napa Valley needs top-notch people who can program computers, good at accounting, etc., etc. West Virginia needs coal miners and cooks. So is West Virginia going to try to instill the same level of intelligence into the youth here to make the entire populace capable of exceeding out of the state? Because the kids in Napa Valley, I promise you, are not dying to come here and be coal miners.
Right, but let me push back on that real quick, because West Virginia does not need coal miners and cooks. We have plenty of those. You know what I mean? We have plenty of that.
Right.
And now the technology is good that it's almost to the point that you can mine coal without even using people. You have an equipment operator and they run it. Yes, I know that a lot of people still risk their lives doing it, but it's getting to the point where you can almost do it unmanned. We still need fossil fuels. I'll give you that. We're still going to need coal miners. I'll give you that. And you know what? A coal miner is most likely going to raise a coal miner. That's how you get more coal miners. But what West Virginia needs to do is tap into the potential that it has, being geographically located the way that we are. We're so close to everything. There's no reason we couldn't have steel shipped in from Pittsburgh and computer chips shipped in from Ohio and whatever.
You're right.
Whatever. We are a manufacturing gold mine with bukus of land.
We are.
And we're 3 hours away from everything.
We are.
You know, like, really. It's just a matter of time. And you have to convince people from outside that we're not just a bunch of fucking hicks. You know, you got to battle those stereotypes. You got to set the record straight anytime you talk to somebody that pretends like they know what they're talking about. You know, so I'm always defending West Virginia. I think we have a great future here.
Oh yeah, I mean West Virginia could definitely grow, but our roots is what makes us so.
We're very mineral rich. There's no reason not to exploit that, by all means. And the people, back to the coal miner raises coal miners. There's going to be the coal miner that raises the smart one that goes and WVU and does some geological stuff. You know what I mean? With minerals and rocks and stuff like that. Like, there's no reason why you couldn't. You don't have to be a coal miner.
Right.
You know, but somehow it just somehow, it's easy to see. It's not somehow, but we just got to the point where all of our youth in the last 20 years is either dead from overdoses or has moved out. You know, like, we're a very old state now.
We are.
You know, we don't really have a whole lot of that 25 to 45 year old that makes $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year.
There's nothing for the youth here.
It's building back, though. It's getting there. It really is, dude. It's getting there.
When you're young, and trust me, I know this one. When you're young, you want to get the heck out of this state, and you want to go to college, and then you get out in the world, and you realize this world is full of nothing but snakes and wolves.
Yep.
And you're like,
and you want to run back to West Virginia.
I'm going back to my holler. Where I'm going.
It might be boring, but it's safe.
It's safe.
I can't tell you how many times I left.
Yeah.
And how many times I've been back?
Snakes
one more than I've left.
Man. Snakes and wolves.
Yeah. Yep. And
Screw you guys.
Closer to the cities you get, it gets worse the closer to the cities you get. That's why I go to the city for vacation. Speaking of which, we're sitting here talking to whoever's listening that how good this city and state is. That doesn't mean you can move here.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm really kidding. We welcome everybody here.
We wrestle bears and shit.
Dude, you know, we had a whole bunch of Syrian and Afghan immigrants move here. And, dude, that was kind of cool, man, because there's always some fucking dickheads. Always. Protesting and shit. But, dude, the people that came out to show support to these Afghan and Syrian immigrants, man, it was freaking awesome, dude. You know
Having said that, we welcome these people.
Yeah.
That's enough.
And I think that's why, that might be why our median income is so high, because these people got dough.
They do. You know, there was a lady up at work the other day, and the woman who was with her, I'm guessing, was a social worker, because she didn't look like she was at all the same ethnicity as the woman she was with. And she explained that she was a Somali refugee. I don't think she came for money, because the way she reacted when the lady at Sam's offered her a free piece of steak.
Even if you don't come from money, you go your whole life without.
Yeah.
So even the bare basic politeness minimum here feels like a gracious,
We don't know what poverty is.
like as a general rule, and without using names, my coworker, she's from mainland China. She's been here 12 years, but she still speaks fluent Chinese, so her English is not very good. So anytime she has to talk to Suddenlink, I got a call for her. You know, I help her out. She's freaking cool. But dude, she doesn't have food at her house because she eats at work. She makes like $15 an hour. She's not broke. But she's like, I don't spend money on food. I'll eat here for free. I'm like, you're the smartest woman I've ever met.
I've lived like that.
Bro, she stacks her bread. And every weekend that she's off, she's in Louisville, Kentucky, Maryland. She's using her money to travel. And she'll be off work for 2 or 3 days. Come back to work and like she hasn't eaten in 3 days.
When Johnny moved in here, my fridge was full of nothing but styrofoam containers. Man.
That does not surprise me even the slightest.
Dude,
especially as a cab driver.
Food?
Oh, especially as a driver, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You're always eating on the run.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you never know when you're going to get hungry. So it's like...
No. And you can only eat so many sandwiches. So every
Right.
now and then you got to go grab a tray of something. And I'm mad the Caribbean place in Canal City closed.
Yeah. Tell you though, if you
We
want
have
some good
nice
food, man,
things.
you can't hardly beat that Piggly Wiggly fried chicken. That is some good stuff.
That's Sam's Rotisserie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was up there the other day, man, and me and my daughter was up there. She wanted some shrimp. I was like, you want breaded or raw? Dude, we found the prawns like this big. She's like, I don't want them. But we went over in the freezer section, and she saw the breaded shrimp that she normally gets from Kroger. The breaded shrimp from Kroger, you know, they're decent. They're probably like the size of the top of this lighter. You know, I'd say they're about a 13, 15.
13, 15.
Anybody that doesn't know what that is, you get 13 to 15 shrimp per pound. So they're not like super big, but they're decent size. But we went around the corner and they had breaded shrimp. It was like right in one of the front coolers. She's like, I want this one. Beer battered breaded shrimp.
Frozen?
Yeah, frozen.
Do you own a deep fryer?
No, air fryer.
Ooh.
Bro, let me tell you.
Sir.
Let me tell you, game changer.
Yeah.
I haven't even used my oven in like 3 months.
No.
Since you brought it up. Anyway, let me finish my story. So we get home, and dude, these are breaded, maybe even the 15, 17s with no tail. These things are huge. They're like the size of my finger. Abigail's like, these are the best shrimp ever. Bet. We're going back to Sam's Club next week. Yeah, it was great, man.
Fuck yeah. Now I like working up there. It's nice.
Have you not met my buddy yet?
Who?
John Wall?
What's he do?
He was working in the garage for a long time. Me and him went to mechanic school together.
No, I haven't met. I've met.
John Ham. John, real tall, skinny dude, red hair, tattooed up.
I'll look for him.
Bro, he's a cool dude, man. He's got mustaches tattooed on his finger. And once you get to know him, he'll be like, yeah, Shane. That's the funniest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life.
Can I get a monthly laugh?
And he's German, too. Like, tall, redhead dude, German dude. It's funny as shit. He's a cool dude. We went to mechanic school together. I'm pretty sure he's still over there.
I only see the people that work my shift.
Yeah, I'm sure. You got your own break room back there in the cooler, or in the meat area?
No, not
is
at
it
all. It's
whole
up front, upstairs.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's so hot outside, so I tend to go up there and watch Have Gun Will Travel on my break.
Just think, your cigarette break or your break used to consist of cigarettes, and now you're watching Hulu on your phone.
You couldn't pay me to smoke a cigarette. Some people are like, man, you know what? Every now and then I'll walk by one and get a whiff.
Bro, tell me again right now. Tell me again right now, because I promise you, what am I? 47. I quit on my 40th birthday, so I'm 7 years no cigarettes, and I'm still to this day. One of my good friends, man, he lights that fucking thing up, and I'm like, oh my god, that shit smells so good.
Yeah.
I'm 7 years out. I consider myself a non-smoker. About the only tobacco I get is in the cigars.
Joni lit one up. Well, she's quit now, but before she quit, she lit one, and I mean, I was just like, I felt like Monterey Jack in the old Tailspin cartoon. I was exactly. Mustache started twisting up. Yeah.
That's great. Heck yeah. That's some good old days, man. A lot of stuff on my Facebook been popping up. 80s cartoons, man. I've been loving that page. Loving it.
Oh, wow.
The old Inspector Gadget.
But they can't, old 18. You can't you can't watch old 18 now.
No, it's too politically incorrect.
Yeah, they used to take down overcharging water companies and whatnot. They used to shoot up electric companies for cutting off impoverished people.
They used to drug Mr. T to get him to fly. Can't get away with that shit. Here, dude, just drink the milk. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, every time he drank the milk.
He knew what was happening. He knew exactly what was happening.
What was my favorite dude? Mr. T was one of my favorites, but I think my favorite dude was Face. That was my dude.
Yeah.
Like his little right-hand man. Not the leader, the other dude. He was probably one of my
Oddly enough, I was always a Murdoch fan.
Oh, dude, Murdoch's all... Yeah. Oh, how do you forget about Murdoch?
No, really. The crazy one always comes through.
Mr. T was the strong one. Murdoch was the crazy one. Face was the pretty one, and the leader was just the leader.
He was a smart one. He was tactically intelligent.
Yeah, he was the commander.
Right.
Actually had army experience or whatever.
Well, they were all an army unit. They got framed.
Oh yeah, they got thrown out and shit.
They got framed.
Blacklisted or some shit. What was it? What'd they get framed for?
I forget.
I'll have to go back and watch it now. I think you can find it on Hulu. The whole series.
You ever seen the episode that had the guy that played Captain Spaulding on it, where he was a biker, and him and Face are just in the jail cell, just talking trash to each other?
Isn't Captain Spaulding's dead now?
Yes, he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that? It's not even been a year. Just a few months ago, wasn't it?
No, it's been a year. I feel like. Yeah. Yeah, it's been at least a year. It may have been 2.
Really?
It's been a minute.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it's been 3 years since COVID either. This last few years has really flown by, even with the lockdowns and everything. I really feel like the last few years just zoom. But this summer, though, I had a lot of fun this summer, man. Between kayak trips and firework shows and baseball games, and you know what I mean. Like, I really made the summer stretch as long as I could.
Right, we had a really good fireworks show.
Out here?
Oh yeah, every year the Greater Grapevine Committee gets together.
Greater Grapevine Committee?
Yeah, we get together and have a bunch
of rednecks throw in a couple
$100 up here. He's a veteran with probably a little bit of PTSD.
Not probably.
And I mean, we light up the sky for 20-30 minutes of solid mortars, and I mean there's a table with 5 people lighting 2 to 3 tubes each.
Hell yeah, that's how we do.
And
it was one year when I lived in North Charleston, out there in the trailer, and I had that 2.5 acres, just flat land. I had a 16-foot trampoline, big old trampoline in my front yard. You may have remembered. You've been out there a couple times.
Yeah, I remember that.
Big old man. Me, one of my best friends, Matt, my next door neighbor Matt. Then we had a third friend. His name was Matt too. It was probably 5 or 6 of us. We all threw in like $200-$300 each. At this time, you couldn't buy them here, so we drove to South Point, Ohio. We filled the trunk of a car up and the dude sitting in behind the driver's seat had probably $100 worth of fireworks on his lap. Like, we couldn't even fill the trunk. The trunk was full. We come back and we fill that whole trampoline with nothing but 30 shots, 40 shots, 60 shot, 90 shot, 100 shot, probably 500 freaking mortars. Previous to this, my next door neighbor had some kind of HVAC unit delivered to her house, and she had two 25-foot long pallets. I stood them motherfuckers up, climbed them together, put all my brush and stuff underneath, and had this fucking TP fire that was fucking 30, 40 foot in the air, dude. That pallet caught on fire, and it was so, like, the next day, the next door neighbor was like, no more fires like that. I was like, that was a big fire. He was like, fuck yeah, that was a big fire. You've probably seen that bitch from space.
There was an extra dot.
It was a big fire. And then after the fire went down a little bit, that's when he lit the fireworks off. But, dude, epic fire. If I dig through my pictures, I'll find it for you. But it was epic.
Getting ready to have a little bonfire weekend after next for Reagan's birthday.
Awesome.
You'll have to come out.
Next. What is that, weekend of the 10th? Or what's her birthday? September 10th or something?
16th, but we got to do it the weekend before because she's going to Ace Adventures the weekend after.
Cool.
Yeah, good times.
Yup. Went up to Ace Adventure. Me and Abigail went to Ace Adventure and went ziplining earlier this year. That was fun. They have you and Joni. I don't know how her balance and stuff is, but y'all would probably have a blast. Me, I'm a little too big for it, but I need to lose some weight before they'll let me up there.
Well, you're going to lose some weight because they'll be dragging you up and down river this fall.
The weight limit is 250 pounds, but you're 30, 40 foot in the air, and you have a zip line attached to you, and it's like a tree top obstacle course, like rope kind of course. I mean, it's awesome, dude. It is awesome. I didn't get there because I'm 30 pounds over the limit, but I want to go back and try that. That shit looks cool as fuck.
As soon as it cools down, I'm Glade Creek bound.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely gonna try to do at least one overnight, maybe 2-night fall trip, like first part of October.
Right.
Just maybe back to Summersville, somewhere where I can fish.
Right.
I don't really like bank fishing that much anymore, but if it's a good trout stream, I'll check it out. If you know a spot, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm quite prepared to get into bear country quite yet.
I got mace.
Cool. I mean, I do too, but I don't think mine's going to do anything to piss it off. Yeah, that's what I got. I don't know if that's really going to do anything, but
it will.
It'll let him know that we're mad. Like, but if he's charging, I don't know if I can empty the rounds quick enough because
I don't know if I
got 13 and I'm pretty accurate.
I don't know if I'll hit him, but I promise you I'll let them rounds off quick enough.
Yeah, and shit. I feel like you and I together, that'd be a formidable force. You know what I mean? Well, you got a 13 round clip?
8.
Plus 1? Or just 8?
Plus 1.
So 9? I got 13 plus 1.
I can't say I can do it repeatedly, but I've hit a 6-inch gong at 80 yards with that thing.
I hit...
But if a bear's coming at you, that's got absolutely nothing to do with that skill set.
Out of the 13 rounds, I threw the tennis ball probably 20 yards. I hit it with my first shot. I missed second, third, fourth shot. I hit it with my 5th shot. And then I think it was out of range because I couldn't hit it again. But I hit that tennis ball twice. And the first shot, I really surprised the bullet didn't shatter it. The bullet went through it, I guess.
No, tennis balls are pretty...
But when the bullet came through the other side, it kind of pushed the tennis ball down. And it shot out like another 30 fucking yards. So the second shot, It was probably a 30-yard shot, 35-yard shot.
I love taking my little 22 and chasing golf balls around up at the range.
Yeah, that sounds fun. That's work with your fucking accuracy right there.
I watched a guy get mad and throw his gun in a case one day, and some people just come up here to show off and slam.
It's a range. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to see if I can beat my previous score.
Right. My last score was hitting this golf ball with a...
Right. Why can't you just put your earplugs in, shut the fuck up, and shoot your gun? Why you gotta be an asshole? Like, I hate people like that. That's why I don't go to the range that often.
Because he had just bought... No, I feel him. He had just bought a brand new shiny handgun. And he brought his girlfriend up there to show him how he had bought an extension. And then I showed up, and she quit watching him.
Wow.
She started watching this guy over here that was shooting the golf ball repeatedly.
Wow.
And that's what made him mad.
Oh, that's what made him mad.
That's what made him mad.
Okay, so his girl likes accuracy, and apparently he just wasn't getting it done.
No, I don't care where you're at. Guy walks up and starts shooting. I mean, I love that little 17 HMR of mine. It's accurate. Right. I got it at Walmart, but it's accurate.
Is that a 22 round in that?
It's a little bit bigger than a 22. It's like a 22 Magnum, but it's a different. It's a little bolt action Savage. It's like a $125 gun.
Right. It's probably like a rabbit gun or something
cheap.
That like
they say you can kill a deer with it. Yeah, that's the same face I make when I say that. Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I was a kid, let me tell you. Of course, when you're a kid, you're gullible. But bro, I think I told this story 100 times because I thought it was just an interesting story. One of my best friends as a kid in Virginia, his dad and him, their whole family were big hunters. Big hunters. He had this big ass buck, man. I'm telling you, I think this thing was like an 8 or a 10 point. And it clearly, 100%, had a glass eye. I know the taxidermist does something with the eyes to do whatever. This deer was clearly shot in the eye hole because the taxidermist couldn't do shit about it. He just put a white marble, whatever, and the other one, you know how they do the deer.
You should put a crosshair on it like the guy in Last Action Hero.
My whole damn childhood, Justin, I'm telling you, this dude told me he shot that deer with a BB gun, and I fucking believed him. I was like, you know what? If you shoot a deer in the eye hole, you could Bro, I was raised in the 80s. BB guns, I've been shot. They hurt.
BB guns were the greatest fear of the 80s, man.
Paintball, what?
I remember the first time
we were shooting each other.
I remember the first time a paintball hit me, it literally about took me off my feet, and I was immediately in love.
Yeah. That's a 68 caliber round. You know, it's a big round. A bullet, I mean, a BB, that shit's going in your skin. No matter what.
Years later, you could shoot 20 of them at me, and I dodge them like Neo from the Matrix.
Dude,
like, I wish I care anymore.
I want to get back into paintball, but it's such an expensive hobby, dude.
I still got my old equipment.
I put all my shit away.
But I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go up and shoot at church group kids at Scary Creek? Like, we're too old for that. It was fun back in the day.
Bro, you got a piece of property sitting right up here. It just needs a little bit of work.
It's true.
It's sitting there. It might even have some of the same obstacles still out there.
Nah, everything's on the ground.
The tires, is it?
There's a little archy. If you go up and kick rocks around, you'll find like old CO2s and plastic tubes and.
Dude, that'd be
There's
cool.
memories all over the place. You can still hear.
But I got so many other hobbies, man. I just, it's like between golf and fishing, man, that's expensive as shit.
Well, I keep trying to find hobbies, but I'll be honest, paintball has been calling me.
Yeah.
It has. We'd have to get a youth group together just so we can...
Like for real, though, like, do you have any legal access to any of this property?
None.
Okay.
None at all.
I mean, you had a piece of property, man. We could go in business and create our own create our own. Bro, like, if you got any access to property up there, just that field that we had could easily, that's a big field. We could put 2 or 3 of those stretched out with different obstacles, different field, put nets up to separate the fields.
True.
Dude, we got...
True.
But we can't invest that kind of money into something you have no legal access to. I know it's your mom's property.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think it'll be yours.
No, I doubt
but
it.
you ain't gonna leave it to your brother.
Nah, I ain't getting it.
You think it'll be fucking your kids?
Probably, or sold off.
I was gonna say, if it's left to your kids, man, that's gonna be a problem.
Well, we've been at this about an hour and 20.
Yeah, you wanna wrap it up?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. It's been a good week, good conversation.
See, that was cool, man, because we didn't have any subject at all. We were just rattling off, but it wasn't too bad. Like, it was cool.
We'll go at it again next week, see what happens.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
All right.
No. Next week I'm camping.
No, that's right. So
we're gonna have to. I might get some good footage of Summersville and send it to you so you have something to post, and
right.
Maybe you just get on there by yourself and shoot the shit for half an hour, and
right,
just to give them something to listen to.
Try to cause some kind of commotion.
Yeah.
Russians are dropping from the sky by the dozens.
Get your technical guy over here to give you any advice?
No, nobody answers the phone or answers text anymore.
No, he's got to knock on the door.
It's 2022.
Yeah.
First, you got to get past the hellhounds, and
it's not even worth it.
No, not really. Man, it's been a good week.
It has been. Yeah, good week. All right, so anybody out there, if you like what we're doing, I promise you we're trying to get better. So like, share, subscribe. This has been another episode of Middle of the Road.
All right, I'm
John.
I'm Justin.
See you next week, folks.